Happy Saturday, guys. Yeah, been a while, so I've been working on my Berwick, as you know. Anyway, it's the weekend. ABS pump change, which I've done. So that's the old one. This is off the Audi. Although there was no warning lights on the dash, VCDS was shown that the brake pressure switch was knackered. So because it wasn't bringing any lights on, I wasn't going to bother changing it. However, when I'd done the gearbox change, service, oil change, the park reverse neutral drive and sport light was flashing, which is basically the instrument that tells you, visually what gear you're in, whether it park, reverse, neutral, etc. And that flashes. And if that flashes, it means there's a fault with the gearbox. So VCDS, when I was going into the gearbox or transmission module, it was saying check ABS module. ABS module was saying brake sensor. So I'm hoping that the flashing fault with the transmission is to do with the brake sensor. So replace that, everything will be okay. It kind of makes sense because no doubt the brake pressure sensor will play a part of the auto transmission, in that it may need to change up or down depending on how much pressure is being applied or how much it knows that's being applied. So it would kind of make sense that the computer for the gearbox would need to know demands from the brake pressure, if that makes sense. If it doesn't matter. Let's see if it works. Right, I need to bleed the system now, front brakes, and then we can check if the fault code's gone off VCDS. Right guys, not happy. That ABS pump that I've just replaced is exactly the same fault, so the brake pressure sensor within that is knackered as well. So I've emailed the seller off Fleabay, said it's defective, so I've got my return postage there, ready to send it back. It's okay, fair enough, I get my money back, but I've just wasted 1.5 litres of brake fluid, because you've got to bleed the ABS system itself and then bleed the brakes as normal before you can test the brake pressure sensor. And then obviously a full morning's work doing the changeover and bleed. So, not too impressed. I've ordered another one from another breakers. It does state on there that it is fully functioning. We shall see when I get it. Fingers crossed the next one I get will be okay. So, that's it for that one. All I can do now is pop the wheels back on this. I'm not taking that ABS sensor, that ABS pump back off. I'm just going to send him my old one back. I don't think he'll have, I didn't say any paint on it or anything, so he's not going to know which one he's getting back. They're both knackered anyway, so I'm not bothered. Just means I don't have to break into these lines again and I can get this car out. So I'm going to get the wheels back on, drive this car out, bring the black Golf in, and I've got the I've basically got to take the caliper off and pop the piston out, clean it, and possibly put a new seal in because it's sticking. So that's what I'm going to do on the black Golf. So I'll get the wheels back on this, get this out, get the Golf in, dilly. Right guys, as you can see, Golf's in, wheels off, calipers off. So this is one that's sticking. So all I've got to do is, before I break that line, and I might not have to actually, it depends, what I'm going to do is just pump on the brake to push this piston out to the point where I can take it out fully. I'll put my drain underneath just so I can catch all the brake fluid that comes out. And then that's it, just have a look at the surface of the piston itself and then the actual sealing rings, the rubber rings, and see if either can be sorted out just with what I've got, cleaning wires and possibly new O-rings I might be able to put in if I've got some that'll fit. We'll see. Let's get this piston off first. Dilly. Right, and so I'm just going to pump the brake now and hopefully capture this on video where it pops out. I'll put it in a position where hopefully I don't drop the piston into the bowl. Here we go. I'll just push on the brake now. You should be able to see it coming out. Here it goes. It's in there quite solid. Oh, just gently on the pedal now. And it should, I think it's at the point where it's about to come out. There we go. Okay. So I should be able to pull this up by hand now. Yeah, baby. So, just need to get this cleaned up. Yeah, we can see in there the seal is not very good. So, yeah, clean this, clean the piston up. In essence, if you can look at the bottom there where it says park reverse, neutral, drive and sport, that flashes if there's a fault with anything to do with the transmission. So if I select reverse now, that buzzes just for the reverse sensors. So it's held it for about 10 seconds, then it'll start to flash. Yeah, there we go. So that shows there's a fault on the transmission somewhere. Put it back in the park and it goes back off, and then the same again. And it doesn't matter what you select, whether you select reverse, drive or sport. And when you go to manual for the flappy paddles, yeah, you can see on there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you flick on your paddles, it'll tell you what gear you're in. Again, that will start flashing in a bit. There we go. And it doesn't matter what you flick, it won't tell you what gear you selected. So in essence, it's when it flashes, it disables these flappy paddles. Right, the car will still drive, so it'll still drive and change up and down, but it's flashing to say that there is a fault somewhere. So I look on VCDS, go into auto transmission. Now there's two places I've got fault codes. One's for the steering wheel, which is obviously the flappy paddles, and one is in auto transmission. So if we look at this one first, which I know I've sent a picture on my WhatsApp group, but this might go on YouTube. So there's one fault, 194 ignition key removal lock, implausible signal. Yeah, so that's one. I can clear that fault code, doesn't really matter, it will come back if I select drive or reverse again. The other place is where there'll be a fault code is in the steering wheel. So you go to steering wheel, enter fault codes, and there is your other fault. Switch for selector lever position P lock, implausible signal. So this, in essence, when I've done a bit of research, is saying that when the gear stick is in park, there's a trip switch, micro switch, that tells the ECU of the transmission, and also talking to the car, that lever is in P. Now, on the forums, it's saying that trip switch can get, the ingress of dirt, etc. So it doesn't make a good contact. So although you put it in park, the car doesn't know that it is in park. So that's what brings up the flashing out of code. So I'll just get my torch and I'll do another video and investigate that one and see if we can sort that out and see if it rectifies the problem. Dilly dilly. Right guys, sorted. So it's in park, into drive, no flashing light. I can move it across to manual for the flappy paddles, drive, put it into sport. Excellent, job done. Okay guys, just been for a test drive, right up to the end of the drive and back, and sorted. Brakes are spot on since I've done the ABS changeover and brake bleed. The Magic like new them. new disc pads, ABS pump, and obviously new brake fluid makes all the difference. My nightmare task, which I'm pleased is done, is that flashing symbol at the bottom. That could have been a nightmare, and I'm pleased it was just a trip switch and not the mechatronics unit. That would have been, I would have took it to the scrapyard. So that's sorted. I've also sorted the knock on the back right. If you remember, I was mentioning I had a knock on the back right and I couldn't determine where it was from. Schoolboy error, my fault. I hadn't tightened up a bolt that secured the bottom of the shock absorber onto the trail arm. So that was a simple job, just tighten the bolt up. So no knocks, no bangs, good brakes, good transmission, good to go. So I can, I'm just going to do the interior now. Just give it a quick clean with my Vax, because it is a little bit minging on these seats. The actual carpets and everything aren't too bad at all. It does have floor mats, so I'll clean them with the Hoover as well. And the rest of it, I'll just go over with my silicone spray. And then that'll shine all the parts up, so I'll show you before and after that. And then the window clean, just got to clean the windows. I'll give the outside a quick wash over. That's the update for now. Look forward to me cleaning, dilly dilly.